flying as if they were in a space rocket, you know. There's a racket going on with a rocket. The days that go by very quickly, and I don't know. When you wake up in the morning, the next thing you know is night. You're working so busy, so hard, and then to some of you, I guess it looks like the day is taking forever to go. I don't know. But for me, these days are just racing. They're really racing by. Um, there are lots of things that we want to talk about today. First, I want to let you guys know who expect us to be on YouTube. That just learned today that we wouldn't be on YouTube for, I don't know, maybe never again because of something to do with striking and strikes and strike out and three strikes and you're out, something like that. So we don't know if we're going to have anything to report to you on YouTube. So you better join live. If not, you're going to miss whatever we're doing, right? So maybe no more YouTube for us. Not at the moment. But oh, that's the way that the cookie crumbles, I guess. I started to talk to you last week about several things, including the frustrations of losing weight, and then we had some strange occurrences with the internet, and we had to abruptly stop the program or end it because there was partly some sort of glitch, as we call it, with the service. You know, we're in Guyana and we can expect anything because we settle for anything, I guess. Some places you can't do that because when you're paying for some services, you have to get what you pay for, you know. If not, it's going to be a problem. But I guess in Guyana, we don't do those things. So whatever we have to suffer with, we suffer with. Anyhow, I wanted to get to a particular subject matter to do with the woes of losing weight. And I said the woes of losing weight because many persons are having serious struggles losing weight. And there are many reasons, including the fact that we expect too much too soon, and we expect so much for so little. You know, we put so little in and expect so much that when you put a little in and you don't see anything, you stop. You know, and then there's the excuse about the weather's bad, COVID is on, um, all sorts of things. And all the time while that is happening, you keep losing, you keep gaining the weight because you're still eating, you're still doing the same things every day, and the weight is just piling up on you. You know, my suggestion to you is, I have a few of them. If it's raining and you can't go and exercise, you can't go to the park, you can't go to the seawall. If you have a bottom house, get a jumping rope. You know, get a skipping rope, and just do some numbers. You know, if you don't know how to skip, you start slowly, and then you work your way up. And that skipping is going to make a big difference in what happens to you with your entire cardiovascular system, your fat burning mechanisms, and your circulation. You know, many of you are not having certain things happening to you because you have such poor circulation, to blood circulation, that you get cramps in your legs, you get cramps in your hands. You can't, you know, you can't really do too much because you get tired easily, right? So you need to really start moving, start making your body move. And one of the things that I think makes a difference is that you have to give yourself some sort of a factor, some reason to want to lose this weight. If you want to lose the weight just because you want to look good, then you may have a grand time trying to lose that weight. But if you have a situation like you want to fit an outfit that you have there that you got to get into it by a certain time, that's a good motivational factor. If your friend or your boyfriend or your girlfriend want to see you get to a certain size before they do certain things to you, that's another factor. You know, if you have a condition like diabetes or hypertension, and you need to exercise and you need to burn some fat and burn some calories, that's more than enough of a factor that you know can put before you to lose to get going to lose the weight. So I'm saying give yourself something that can motivate you to make it happen, because it is not easy to motivate yourself to go out there and do things. I can tell you that. You know, it takes a great effort for you to crack those doors open and get out there and start walking or doing something. And when you stop, it's not easy to start back. You know, and that's another thing, because some of us begin the process and then we have to stop for some reason. And then it's so difficult to start again. And we're humans. It's not easy to get into those modes to lose weight. It really is not easy. You know, so you've gotta besides the fact that you need to give yourself factors to do it, you have to close them out. You know, stop eating those things that make you gain weight. I think one of the things that happened to us is that we want to get the results, but we don't want to make the sacrifices. And it's not going to work, because you got to make some sacrifices. As you hear the saying goes, no pain, no gain, right? No pain, no gain. That is not just like you have to hurt, you know, you got to feel some pain before you get some results. No, it's not just that. You've got to make some sacrifices in order to get some results. You've got to close your mouth. You've got to stop eating the things that make you put on the weight. You've got to stop all the fried foods, all the fatty things, all the fleshy foods. You know, you've got to stop drinking all the sodas. All those things that contribute to your weight gain, you've got to decide to stop it. And I have a very good suggestion for you too. If none of those work, and you've tried them, then go on a fast. You know, make a decision to go on a fast. If you go on a juice fast, or a salad fast, or a fruit fast, or a water fast, go on a fast, and you know, just stop eating all of those things that make you put on weight. And like I was saying, in order for you to burn those fats that you have, you cannot want to put those fats back on, or put fats in your system and expect that you're going to burn the fats that you need to burn. You know, you've got to stop inputting what you're trying to exit or get rid of. Stop intaking what you're trying to get rid of. If you want to get rid of the fats, don't intake the fats, or don't ingest it, because your body got enough. Your body have enough of the fats that it doesn't need. So don't take more. Don't take more. You know? So give yourself some motivational factors, whatever it is. If you want to take a nice fancy outfit and put it in front of your closet, and you know, hang it on a hanger, hang it up there, it says, I gotta fit you by a certain time, then you go out there and you make it happen and get inside. And don't try it on every day, because it's not gonna fit. It's gonna take a while. You know, you exercise for 1 week or 2 weeks, and then you could try it on. And then you see how much more you gotta lose and where you gotta lose it. Right? You just can't want to get results and not have to pay the price, or have to or make the sacrifice. And then some of you expect the results too fast. Some of you want to be sick for 1 year and expect one day to get results. You know, you just pick up your medicines today and tomorrow you want to see the results, right? It doesn't work like that, my friends. I keep telling you guys, you know, sometimes the length of time that you had gotten sick, sometimes it takes that much time for you to get better, to really get better, not just to get rid of the symptoms, to get better. And many of you want quick results, so you know it's why you continue to suffer, because you will get the quick results, yes, but it's only temporary. It's not permanent. It's temporary. You know, so you can't expect that tomorrow you're gonna be this miracle is gonna happen, and you're gonna wake up and then you're gonna be brand new again. Not when you've been sick for 6 and 12 months. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't happen, right? Some of you need to employ a different strategy to make things happen. You know, you wanna get better if you're sick, and you go to the clinic, and you are given the diet, you know, the sheet that tells you that your body says don't use these things. Right? It's not me. Your body is telling you because of what it's discovered that is wrong with you. Certain things that you are using should not be used because it contributes to your illness. So you get this list, and the list says don't eat ice cream, for example, right? And you love ice cream. So you say, well, you know what? I ain't gonna take no ice cream today, right? I can take my medicine today, and maybe tomorrow I can try some. So you take your medicine today, you feel a little better, and because you feel a little better, you take the ice cream tomorrow, and the next day you go on sick again. You know, you've got to put away those foods, those drinks, those condiments that when you take them, it causes you to be sick. You got to do that. You got to put them away. You can't want to change whatever it is that is causing you to become ill and continue to use it at the same time. It don't work. So if you get the list of things that says you're not supposed to use these foods, it doesn't mean that you can't use them anymore. It just means that because of what is wrong with you at this time, these are the recommendations that are put forth for you to follow to overcome whatever is wrong. But when you overcome it, most times all of those things go away and you can go eat again if you want. You know. But I got a call from someone just a few minutes ago who said to me that oh, I'm feeling better, doc, but it's a struggle. It's a struggle, and it's not easy because I've got to give up some of these things that that I'm accustomed to using. But I'm feeling a lot better. And guess what happened? When I tried to eat back the things that I came off of, when I tried to eat them back again, I can't take them. My body don't want them. You know, like it tastes bad in my mouth. It doesn't taste good anymore, right? That is something that happened to somebody um, who actually had a change of a change of what to eat, what not to eat, and she did it successfully. And when she tried to go back to eat it again, she can't handle it. The taste buds have adjusted, and she had to spit it out. She said, "Can't use it anymore." And it was so good, something that everybody likes, chocolate. She can't use it. She don't want it. She doesn't have the taste for chocolate anymore, believe it or not. You know. So sometimes the things that you love are the things that hurt you, and when you realize it hurts you is when you stop using them, and then you go back again. Then you realize that it's not good for me. You know. So you need to somehow avoid as much as possible all of those things that can contribute to illnesses. Okay, like we're high consumers of seafood. We like to use the shrimp, we like to use the fish, we like to use, all sorts of fish, right? The fish comes from the ocean or from the pond, wherever it comes from. And in those ponds and in that ocean, there are chemicals, there are microelements that are there that you can't see. That when the fish eats it, the fish absorbs whatever it is in it, and then when you eat it, you get it, and it makes you sick, but you don't even know. You know, there are lots of mercury out there that is in the water, lots of mercury, and the fish lives in the mercury environment. So when you eat that fish, once he's in that environment, you're going to get the mercury because it's in there. So we have to become more concerned about what we put in our mouths, because there's so many sick people out there. It is not easy to have to face some of the sick people that we see on a daily basis. It's not easy because it's a very unforgiving thing, number one, and it's a very sad situation because you get to see people in all sorts, all shapes and sizes, and in all states of illnesses. And if you were to have to see this every day, it can be very depressing. You know, it can be very depressing and it can take a toll on you because it's not easy to face the sick on a daily basis. It's not easy. It's a very sad situation that you face as a doctor or as a person who cares for others. And it, it, it just if you truly care for people, it makes you kind of sad, you know. So I would prefer to see you all get better. Well, I prefer to see you all just getting your regular checkups just to make sure you're okay. I'd prefer to see that than to see you sick coming in and you know, just broken. It's very depressing, you know. And something that happens to many of you that makes you more sick, you begin to you worry, you know, you worry about everything. You know, some of you worry about so much that you become a part of worry. Worry is part of what you are now. Because the slightest thing that happens, you worry about it. I have a philosophy. If you cannot fix it, find someone who knows how to do it and let them fix it for you. Because worrying is not going to fix it. You can't fix it by worrying. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. You know, you've got to stop the worrying because worrying will bring on all sorts of illnesses. Worrying is going to cause you to be stressed out, and the stress is going to cause you to become ill from whatever it is. You know, because your body is not a machine, and when you go into the worrying mode, you know, your whole composition changes, your whole body function changes. When you go into stress mode, same thing happens. You know, now some of us can work good under stress, but the average person can't. You know, stress brings you down. Stress and worry brings you, you know, it just tears you up. You know, I've known of a guy, I never met him, but I've known of him, I've been told of him, who lost his son over 3 years ago. And right now he is sick. He is sick because he's worrying. This is 3 years. He's grieving over the loss of his son for 3 years. And now he's laying in the bed. You know, this guy, I don't know, he's now in a state of depression and he's deteriorating on a daily basis from worrying over something that he cannot change. Can't change it. He can't bring him back. Whatever it is that happened to him, he can't change whatever happened. It's done already 3 years ago, buried and rotten. So what are you going to worry for? What are you going to depress yourself over? You cannot bring him back. And many of you out there are probably doing the same thing. You lost a loved one. Yes, it's sad. I lost my parents. I've lost, you know, siblings. But what can I do? I cannot change the fact that they're gone. If you worry about the fact that they're gone and you're stressed out and depressed, soon enough, you too will go. You too will go. You know, and it happens. It happens. You know, there's some people who are up in age. When I say up in age, in the 60s, and you know, 60s is still young now. In this time, 60s is young, right? But there are people in their 60s and some in their 50s whose lives are on hold, doing nothing on a daily basis. You know, when they should be out there learning, sharing their knowledge and occupying themselves doing something and you know, getting together and making things happen. You know, get together with people who your age, if you're lonely, and share ideas and be creative and start doing things. Don't let your life go to waste. You know, there are people who in the 80s and 90s who are busy, doing things, making things happen, running businesses, and you would not believe they're that old. And there's some of you in the 50s and early 60s, and you sitting around doing nothing all day on the phone, doing what? You don't even pick up a book to read. You know, this is the sick that we have in our country and in many parts, not only in Guyana, many parts. You could be doing something, learn some skills. Like, you're not too old to get together and do things, whatever skills you have. If it's sewing on the machine or braiding or plaiting or carving or, you know, or be creative, doing something. You know, many of you who are sitting around doing nothing are wasting your lives away. That is one of the reasons why the suicidal rate in adults is so very high, because when you become idle and you're not doing anything, eventually you feel hopeless and you just feel that you have no value. There's no use for you anymore. Yes. The other thing is that in our country, we hardly have any facilities that are designed to allow the persons who are in their 50s, who are retired and so on, to continue to do something. There are no facilities. There are no places they can go and you know, and sit down and feel like they're part of a society. There's hardly any place they can go. You know, it seems like though all we're doing is catering for the young and the you know, the persons who are in their early 30s and 40s. What about those people who are in the 50s and 60s and 70s who didn't even drive? What about those people who are wanting to do things and they can't get around to do it? We don't even have a courtesy service that can pick up the persons who are elderly and take them anywhere. We have no services like that. I don't know of any. You know, there's no courtesy service that can pick them up and take them to the zoo or take them to the park or take them to some place where they can do something. Nothing. As a matter of fact, we don't even have a school bus to carry the kids to school. We talk about there's mini buses. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about real school buses, the big ones. We don't even have those. I don't even know when, if ever, we're going to have those. You know? We are so stuck in the wrong mode that we forget that as long as we keep living, we all are going to get to a number where we need some help. And we need to start putting things in place. We should have done it already. There's not a recreational center. There's not a place, you know, my assistant and I was talking today. The elderly can't even go to the mall and enjoy themselves. First of all, we don't really have too many malls. We hardly have any. For a country like ours, we don't really have hardly any malls. I don't know. I probably have one. You know, what you calling a mall, I don't call a mall, right? But the people have no place to go. There's not even a place that you can say, okay, tomorrow we're going to have a fishing trip. Get your hooks and your rods and your bait. Meet the bus at the park at 4 o'clock or 3 o'clock, you know, and you pick them up and you take them and they go fishing and they have an outing and they can, you know, do something. There's nothing. There's nothing. There's so much that could be done in our country, and there's nothing really happening that can encourage, you know, and I'm being fed information here. There's no place you can go for sightseeing hardly, for bird watching. You know, you gotta be careful you say bird watching, because if you tell it to the guys that they, you know, you're gonna go bird watching today, you know. Back in the days when we talk about bird watching, we meant going and looking at the girls. But when we talk about bird watching, we talk about the birds. We have so many species of birds. you know, but where do you go to do the bird watching? Where? Where? There's nothing much to be done. You know, nothing much to be done anywhere. Not for the elderly. Even for the youths, there's hardly anything to be done. And you know, there's just when you think of of our country, that beautiful Guyana, oh beautiful Guyana. When you think of you know, what can you do for recreation? What? Where can you go? You talk about going to go to Kaichor. How many people can go to Kaichor Falls? Hmm? You talk about going to the island. We have the nice Banganara and so on. Well, how many people can afford to go there? You know, I'm talking about the elderly. I'm talking about those who are retired. What is it for? What is it that is there for the retired to do on a daily basis? What? I wish somebody can tell me. You know, I am thinking that way not because I am getting to the point where I'm going to be one of those too, but I'm talking about the fact that it exists. The people are there and they've been there, and it's just like they're wasting away. That is the reason why we aging so fast now, because there's not too much activities. There isn't. We got one zoo. Where's the zoo? In Georgetown. Is there a zoo anywhere else? No. Is there something in Linden like that? No. Is there something in Berbice like that? No. So if the Berbice people want to come to the zoo, want to go to a zoo, they've got to go to Georgetown Zoo. All the way to Georgetown to go to the zoo, to see the animals, to do some bird watching if you want to go to the zoo. You know? There's no place really that is designed in the regions to help with those things. None. So I don't know. It sounds so negative. What activities are there for the elderly to be involved with? What? If you want to go to National Park from Linden or from the East Bank, you can take 2.5 hours to get down there because of traffic. And then you got to come back and you can take 2.5 hours or maybe 2 hours to get back. There's just so much that blocks the little things that you can do, which are very few. If you really want to go to do them, you have to go through so much to get there. And then when you come home, your equipment spoiled because you had blackout 3 times for the day. Blackout, blackout, blackout. Every time you turn around, there's a blackout. I think that the country needs to open up. The president needs to open up the country to solar. Anybody could bring in solar equipment and install it in their premises or properties free, no duty. Not even the shipping should be charged. There should be something done about the shipping and the duty. So you could solarize your home and don't have to worry about the blackouts. You want to have a blackout, blackout yourself. Somebody should decide to make the panels and the equipment in Guyana. Somebody should do it. There's so many wealthy people in Guyana with all this money. Open up a factory and produce, bring the raw materials in, because you can't make them, bring them in. You know, not that you can't, but you're gonna make them. You got the factory to make them. But bring them in pieces and assemble them and have them reasonably distributed to people who want to buy them and put them on their homes to solarize their homes. Electrify your homes with solar and come off the grid, because the grid is it's not reliable anymore. It's unreliable, and so many people get their equipment messed up because of the blackout, and it comes up, bladam, come on back. You know, next thing you know, your television is burnt or your appliances is burnt. When you leave your house, you got to plug out before you leave. You know, you got to plug out. We got all these people coming in Guyana, right? All these expats, you call them expats, they come into Guyana, okay? All the foreign investors come into Guyana. We haven't really upgraded our system. So they're plugging in their air conditions, burning all that current, utilizing all energy. And the infrastructure cannot handle it because they're used to the coolness. They're turning on their ACs because again is hot. And all the current is being utilized. So what do you think is going to happen is pressure on the transformers, pressure on the system, block out, block out, block out. You know, block out. All those buildings that are going up with air conditioned systems and units inside, when those things turn on, guess what? Is load being drawn from the existing facilities that cannot even handle what was there before the ACs come. Block out. Block out. So I think we're going to go solar. I think we're going to solarize the place and you know, y'all going to try with the blackout. I think that's what I think that's what I can do. I can go solar because I ain't able to block out. You have sick people to take care of who depend on us. And it's not easy, my friends. It's not easy. It's very frustrating. It's very frustrating to do business in Guyana. Not easy. I know some people don't like me saying that, but it's true. Very true. You know? The other thing that I want to talk about is that we don't have facilities to take care of the elderly when they get sick. Where do you take them? God forbid they get sick. We don't even have a proper ambulance service to pick them up and carry them anywhere. You got to rely on somebody's car or some taxi or some, you know, hopefully some neighbor. You know? I don't really like to talk about these things because it sounds negative, but it's reality, it's true. If we are going to grow as a nation, and the people who are there in that nation are aging on a daily basis, what are we doing about providing the services to take care of them as they get older? What are we doing? I don't know. I don't know what to say, man. I don't know. We should have a facility that is there to pick up the elderly, drop them off to a clinic. This clinic is designed for the elderly only. Age 55 and over. That should be established so that when those people are sick, you take them to that facility. They can be taken care of, they can be looked at. Even if you have elderly doctors there, they can be looked at. Because there are many doctors who would want to come back to Guyana and work that are retired and they want to live there. And many of them are Guyanese. But because we don't have certain things in place, they're not going to come. You know, they're not going to come. We've got so many people there who, I don't know, I speak with some of them and they talk about remigrating. They want to remigrate out of Guyana, not into Guyana, out of Guyana, because of fear of getting sick and being bored with nothing to do. And you know, not everybody has the ability to be creative. You know, some people like to have activity. They like to have fellowship. They like to have you know, camaraderie where they can get with people and they can laugh and talk and play games and you know and do things. Where do they go to do it? Where would they go? Where would you suggest they go? We hardly have any clubs there that the elderly can go to. We used to have the recreation hall at Linden where people used to go and do things. It used to be called the recreation hall, and it was a recreation hall. That has become a museum. That's become a museum now. There's no recreation there anymore. You know, there's so much that needs to be done There's so much need to be done. The it's sometimes not easy to talk about these things, but I remember my father when he was alive and he was in his my father was in his 70s, like 79, 80. My father picked up the art of learning to use a computer. 80, in his 79, 80. He went about learning how to use a computer. 79, 80. It wasn't when he was, I guess, during his growing up years, they had none. But in his older years, he started to learn how to use a computer. How many of the elderly today can send an email? How many of them today have access to a computer and they can use it? How many of the elderly today can send a text? You know, some institution or some place need to start thinking maybe we can have little sessions that you can come to this facility as an elderly person, and we have some folks there volunteering to teach you how to use your phone, how to send a text, how to do research, how to Google things, how to use a computer, because your brain still works. Your brain still works. And some of them get frustrated because they can't use the phone properly. They can't send a text. They can't send an email. They can't type on a computer. And we expect them as young ones to understand that. Just send me a text. How am I going to send you a text? Where do I go? What do I do? We take it for granted that these little things are so important to the elderly. I decided today to talk about the elderly because, I am an elderly too. And all of you listening to me who are not elderly, when you live long enough, you're going to become an elderly too. You're going to get old, Don't think you're going to live long and stay young. You're going to get old. Dale, you're going to get old too. And I'm trying to talk about these things so they can be put in place. So as you age, you can have these facilities. I know there's some elderly people who have some good skills. They can carve things with wood. They can make toys with wood. Do we have a facility that they can go to share their knowledge with the young ones? Is there a facility with a workshop? We used to have one of those at Linden. I remember the woodworking shop. I remember that. Where you can go there and you can make things. You can make toys. You can make scooters. You can make go-karts. You could have been so creative. That's how I got a lot of my skills, from the same institution that was there. Where is an institution like that today, where the elderly who is crafted, who knows how to do certain things, can go and volunteer themselves, and while they're doing that, they're keeping themselves young, they're keeping themselves youthful, keeping themselves occupied, while they share their skills with the others, with the young ones? Where is that facility? We ain't got nothing like that. They ain't got. There are no skill training centers or no volunteering skills centers that are established. I don't know of any. Maybe y'all can tell me. But we lack so much, and it's like we are so blinded, we're putting things together, that we seem to forget that the elderly people are dying out and they're going along their business, going into the next realm, and they're taking their skills with them, and they're not passing them on to anybody else. There's one guy I know that makes a great coconut biscuit. When he make the only thing he adds a little too much sugar to me. But when you eat that coconut biscuit, you can't stop eating the whole pack. I don't know if it is a place, don't word Carnegie. Carnegie, everybody can't go there. Do we have any skill centers around the regions that people can go? The elderly can be there to share their skills and to make these things, and the youths can go and, they can sell these things and make these things, and they can be taken and delivered to places so that the funds can be generated, and the elderly can continue to earn something from a little cottage business. Where is a place that they can do that? Where are those places? There is so much that's lacking. There's so much that's lacking. So much that's lacking. I'm being reminded of a patient that we have, age over 90. This man is over 90 years old. I am taking care of this man since he was in his 60s. He doesn't go nowhere else. He comes to us. Whenever he comes to us. I know that for nearly 30 years now. This man is now 91 years old. You can't walk with him, You can't keep up with him. This man is running a business. And he's making breads and cakes and pastries, and that they're being delivered to stores, You can't keep up with him. And he's in his 90s. And trust me, his brain, you can't outwit him, 91 years old. Many of you in your 60s and 70s are brain dead because you're not actively doing anything. You're not reading. You're not passing on your skills. You're not learning. Some of you don't even have any skills to pass on. I'm not putting you down, but you still have life. You still have your wit, your head, your brains. Do something. Do something to keep yourself occupied. I know we don't have the facilities, but do something in your kitchens, in your basements, in your little room, and get a sewing machine. And all of you with the skills, start doing things. Make aprons, if it's that. Make aprons and start packaging them, because people use aprons. Make scrubs. Make anything. You can't make the dress and the pants and the suit, okay? Then you make the shorts. Men's shorts, women's shorts. Easy to make. You make skirts. You make aprons. You make things that people can use to hold their pots and their pans. You can do a lot of things. You can do a lot of things. I'm telling you. Then I'm reminded of another one that's 94 years old. 94 years old. I've been looking at her since she was in her 60s too. You have a few people in their 90s who we've been looking at over 30 years. She has her own kitchen garden. She's out there working, doing stuff. And she's just, we have a few. And guess what? They're just going along as if they're just 30 years younger. Like 30 years younger. My friends, I don't know. I am at the point in my life where I just want to see things happen for people. Good things. And when I look at some of the people that I know good things can happen for, I wonder how they making it. How they surviving. I wonder sometimes how some of you make it through your day. You have no food to eat hardly at home. You have skills. Come together and make something happen. Don't just depend on the little pension that you get, the little pittance from the pension. Can't do much. 2 turn on and let money done. Finish. Many of you, the elderly people, you can't live day to day with the pension you get. It's so small. It sounds big, but it's so small. You tell the average person, "No, I get $20,000 a month." It sounds like a lot to people. But it's nothing. Nothing. Can't go nowhere. Can't go nowhere. Many of the elderly persons, many of them, don't even have the ability to provide a meal for themselves on a regular daily basis. Many of them can't do that. Many of them don't even know how to count their pills. They don't know. Do we have a service where these persons can be taught how to take their medication? No. You shove it in their hands and you tell them go home and take it. You don't spend time with them. There's so much that's lacking. There's so much that's lacking, my friends. I just wish that I was in a position to fill all of those gaps. I wish I was. If I were able to do that, trust me, I won't just be talking about some of them. I'm doing a lot of things, but all the things I really want to do, you know, I have so many dreams of making the life of the elderly person so much easier. I wish I was able to put them all into action. It's time. It's past time. It's a sad thing when you think of it, that we have people who are aging and are dying and they're passing on, and the skills that they have. I wonder where in most of the regions the elderly can go, or even the young ones can go and learn music. Where? Just a couple of places. Where? We hardly even have a national choir anymore. I don't even know if Guyana has a national choir. We used to have. Don't blame anything on the COVID either. Everything you blame on COVID. You know? We don't even have the I don't wanna sound like doom. I really don't. You know there's a saying, right? That the wealthiest place in the world is in the burial ground. The wealthiest place in the world is in the burial ground. It's a true thing, you know. It's a true thing. There's a lot of wealth, not only financially, but in the brains of those who are dead and gone, without even passing it on. I was told today I was talking to one of my patients today, and he was reminding me of some of the folks that we used to play lawn tennis with. And I'm talking to him, and then he says, "Oh, this one is gone. That one is gone too. That one is gone. These people are dead, and I don't even know they're dead." The elderly group that I knew, and I was probably one of the younger ones of all of the lot there, used to be out there on the tennis court playing lawn tennis. And these men were not aging. They were fit as a fiddle, living good, healthy lives, playing lawn tennis on a weekend. Where do you go to play lawn tennis now? Where? Where are the places that the elderly can go and play lawn tennis? They shut down most of them. It's as if we're just shutting out the elderly. You know, it was so sad today when I'm listening to him. And, you know, he was reminding me of the good times we used to have there. And I'm saying, just imagine, it was not that long ago. And those guys are all gone. They're gone. You stop playing the games, you stop playing the tennis, you stop being active, you stop having the fun, you stop the camaraderie. And when you stop doing those things, my friend, your body begins to shut down. Your brain goes idle. Your body gets weaker. Your energy level goes. Your circulation stops. You begin to slow down and then eventually you die out. Keep the body moving, my friends. Keep the brain active. Read. You can't get a computer, get a book. It's not too late to learn to read. It's not too late to read a book. At least read 2 or 3 pages a day. Get the word search game and learn new words. It's not too late to learn new words and to keep the brain active. It's not too difficult to get out there and just walk and do things. People are afraid to walk some places because of the criminals and the opportunistic people who are waiting to commit a crime. Where is a safety zone that the people can go to today and walk and have a little recreation? Where? Every area region should have a place, a park, that the people can go to and have some recreation. All those big areas like Diamond and Grove and Diamond and Grove are close by. But where in those areas is there a facility, a recreational facility that is established that the people can go to and say, we're going to recreate here and we're going to be in a safe zone? Where? There should be a big garden somewhere, a garden of volunteers where the elderly can go and they can plant and they can farm and they can do these things and they can reap from it and they can eat from it. Where are those places? Where? There's so much land we have in Guyana. You can't create nothing like that. Let you provide the facility and make it known that they can come there and they can plant. And it can be protected because there's going to be security looking over it. So nobody can thief what they plant. You make it indoors, you cover it and you make it like a big place so that when the rain comes, the rain can fall, it can soak the plants if it has to, and it wouldn't wash it away. You make it so it looks like something that they can be happy to go to on a daily basis. If it's 2 or 3 days a week, they can plant their pak choy, they can plant their kalu, their bora, their pumpkin, their okra and the corral or whatever it is, and they can reap from their own garden, and then they can use some of that and they can sell it. Where is a place like that? Where? I can think of so many things I can tell you, but where are they? Where? Even the young ones can go there and learn how to do farming. Where is a place like that? We talk about eating healthy because we teach that. Eat healthy. Eat healthy foods. Eat chemical-free foods. Where can you go together collectively and plant a garden, a big one that you can all eat and reap from? Where? I want to speak to my staff about maybe one day, 1 or 2 days in a month, that we have free screening for the elderly. Where you could come in and we can screen you free. Imagine we won't be able to give you the medicines free. We'll give you some kind of discount that you can afford to get the medicines if you need. We're gonna look at having a day, if it's one day in a month, where we would just open it to the elderly. You make your call, you schedule yourself, and we know you're coming, and we make it so that you can come there and have a free screening so we can know what is wrong with you and you can know what is wrong with you. We're going to start there. I think we can put that in place. One day a month, at least one day per month, we leave that opening so that you can come, you call and schedule a time, and you come in, we know you're coming, and we will open up the place for you to come and at least have a screening done. So at least you will know and we will know what you need to be working on with your health. We will try to get that going. Something else you need to do. You need to breathe. Many of you are locked into homes. You lock yourself up. I can understand sometimes you lock yourself up because the mosquitoes are crazy in some places. It's a sad thing that we got to deal with the mosquitoes. You know, but you need fresh air. You need the air to go through your homes. Open up the places. Try and get some screens, some mesh on your windows if you don't have windows with mesh. So you could open up the place and get some fresh air. You know, or go on a veranda, sit on the step, anything, get some fresh air. Breathe free. You lock yourself in the house whole day. What are you doing in there all day? It's just walls. And some of you watch too much television. You're not learning anything from the television. Very little you will learn. There's so much that needs to be done. There's so much that you can do. So much more. So much. You know? So much. And finally, before I go, and I realize it's 7 o'clock already. My goodness, 1 hour done gone already. Many of you spend too much time on your cell phones doing nothing, playing games. I get so annoyed when I watch some of you guys playing games on your phone all day, playing with balls and playing with nonsense, doing nothing. What is that doing for your brain? What is it doing for your brain? What? You're sending idle stupidness on your WhatsApp phone all day to people clogging their phones. Some of you send me nonsense on my phone, I'll block it. You know, if you want to send something of some interest that could make me think or read or, you know, sometimes what you send is what you think. You send garbage because you're thinking garbage. My friends, life is too short. Make the best of it. You know, make the best of it. Keep your brain functioning, doing things that make sense, that can teach you, even though you're older. Teach the young ones to do the right things. Spend more time learning instead of wasting it. I wish I could have taken your time. I wish I had some of the time you have. But we all get 24 hours. I took this time today to talk about the elderly and the things because I'm concerned. If you want more information regarding whatever it is, don't call us at the clinic. If you're ill, you want to get better, you don't know what to do, check with us. We'll find out what is wrong with you, and we put you on a track or put you in some sort of a program that you can at least try to, if you follow the rules, overcome what is wrong with you. We're not guessing on our work. We don't play with that. So many people are misdiagnosed. So many. And when you come and you get the correct diagnosis, it sounds like French to you. You can't believe it. But when those who follow the rules, my friends, those who come and follow the rules gets the results all the time. Anyhow, I hope I didn't offend anyone. I want to thank those of you who may have contributed in whatever way. I was hoping to take some calls, but this was too much on my mind. I couldn't take any calls today, but I promise you that next week we'll take some. I think there's a holiday. I don't know. I hope it's a day I can work with you, I could be in the program. If there's a holiday, I ain't gonna do it. All right? Thank you for watching. I hope that you have a very good evening. And I want you to do one thing for me. Engage your brain. Get active. Eat correctly. Eat right. Eat sensibly. Exercise. Breathe. Get fresh air and some sunshine. And remember that we love you. And thank you for watching. Have a good evening and a blessed and happy weekend. So long.
Looking for a place for the whole family? Come down to the Toucan Mall in Amelia's Ward, Linden. It's the mall that has it all. We have great food, a relaxing atmosphere, and activities for all ages. Tennis, swimming, and a playground. But the fun doesn't stop after dark. There's even a bar and an arcade. And if you aren't ready to go home yet, we've even got a spacious room for your comfort, complete with air conditioning, Wi-Fi, and a private bathroom. The Toucan Mall can also facilitate your event in our spacious conference hall. We also have a theater with films for the entire family. It's the Toucan Mall located in Amelia's Ward, Linden.